Wow, King Xerxes sure can get angry. So what does this have to do with Esther?
Okay, here's our story.
Wait a minute.
What?
Who? Oh, Chester.
A wonderful story needs a wonderful storyteller.
Well, where are we gonna get one of those?
I was talking about me.
Oh, okay. Well, why not?
And now, through the magic of a popsicle stick puppetry, I bring you the story of Esther. So here was a Xerxes, ill-tempered, takes a bad advice, not the best king. He's having a big party with his friends and the leaders of his giant army. Whee! What a fun! He has a wife. He probably had a lot of wives, but there was one in particular named Vashti, Queen Vashti, who was very beautiful. Xerxes and his friends had been drinking a lot.
Ooh, too much coffee?
Something like that. So Xerxes said, "Hey, Vashti, come out and show everyone how beautiful you are." Well, Vashti didn't feel like it, so she said something that no one ever said to Xerxes.
Would you hold my iguana?
That's not what she said. Where did that come from?
I figured that was something no one ever said to Xerxes.
Well, you're probably right, but that's not what she said. She said no. She wouldn't come out.
Oh, dear. I can't imagine Xerxes like that, what with his temper.
No, he didn't. So he threw Queen Vashti out of the palace and said, "You are not my queen anymore. Goodbye." Then his friends said, "You need a new queen, one that is even more beautifuler."
Beautifuler?
I told you they had been drinking too much coffee. So messengers were sent out looking for the most beautiful girls in Persia, and one of the girls they found was Esther.
Esther? She's the one this book is about.
Yes, Ian. Well done. Esther was very beautiful, but even more important to the story, Esther was a Jew.
What's a Jew?
Good question. Esther is the first book in the Bible where God's people are called Jews. Before this, they were usually called Israelites because they were the children of Israel. Remember Israel? His original name was Jacob. He had 12 sons who became the 12 tribes of Israel. All his descendants were called Israelites, and the kingdom they made was also called Israel. When Israel split up, the people of Judah kept worshiping God in Jerusalem, along with little Benjamin, of course, while the other 10 tribes went off to worship idols in the north. The north was called Israel, and the south was called Judah. The people of Judah were carried off to Babylon. While they were in Babylon, people started calling them Jews because they were from Judah.
I did not know that.
Were the people of Benjamin called Benjis?
No, they were called Jews too. And so were the Levites that lived in Judah and served God at the temple. If you were from the southern kingdom of Judah, you were now called a Jew. The folks who lived in the northern kingdom, whose capital was Samaria, and who didn't get along with the folks from Judah at all, would eventually be called Samaritans. This will help you understand the story of the Good Samaritan later on in the Bible.
Well, that's just fascinating.
Yes, it is. What was it we were talking about before?
I'm just standing around with my popsicle stick, waiting to get back to Esther.
Sorry. Back to your story.
So Esther was a Jew. She had no mom or dad, so she was being raised by an older cousin named Mordecai, who was also a Jew and worked for the king at his palace in Susa. This is complicated.
They were both Jews. Mordecai worked at the palace. Esther was chosen to see if the king wanted her to be the new queen.
Right. So Esther went to King Xerxes, and guess what? He picked her to be his queen.
What a great story. The end.
I don't think it's over yet. No, it's not. Things were great until King Xerxes made a guy named Haman his right-hand man. Haman was not a nice guy. He wanted everyone to bow to him. He said, "Bow to me, bow to me." But Mordecai wouldn't bow. Haman was so mad he said, "All right, pal, you're dead." And he went to King Xerxes to ask for permission to kill Mordecai.
That's terrible.
But wait, it gets worse.
Haman knew Mordecai was a Jew, and he didn't like the Jews. So instead of just killing Mordecai, Haman decided to tell King Xerxes he should kill all the Jews, every last Jew in the Persian Empire.
What? Why would he do that? Why was he so mad at the Jews?
Haman was an Agagite, a descendant of King Agag. King Agag was killed by the Israelites after Israel's first king, Saul, beat them in battle. Mordecai was a descendant of King Saul, the man who defeated King Agag.
So Haman might have been trying to get even for what the Israelites did to his great-great-great-great-great-great-granddad.
That's right. So he told Xerxes the Jews were all troublemakers and advised him to kill them all.
What terrible advice! It's a good thing King Xerxes doesn't take bad advice. Oh, wait.
Uh-oh. Xerxes took Haman's bad advice and told Haman he could have all the Jews killed. Haman cast lots, that's like rolling the dice, to pick the day the killing would begin.
Wait. If Haman kills all the Jews, that means the Messiah would never be born. That would be the end of God's rescue plan.
That's right. Mordecai and Esther had to do something. Since Esther lived in the palace, Mordecai figured she could go talk to the king.
Oh, well, that's easy enough.
Not so much. King Xerxes had rules. No one could come talk to him unless they'd been invited.
And the penalty for not being invited was, timeout?
No, it was death.
Death?
Yep. Haman didn't know Esther was a Jew. King Xerxes didn't know Esther was a Jew. So if she didn't say anything, she could just mind her own business and live in the palace and be fine.
Or she could go to the king and say, "Hey, I'm a Jew," and then Haman would want to kill her too.
That is, if King Xerxes didn't kill her first for showing up uninvited. So what did she do? Did she keep quiet to stay alive? Or did she risk her own life to try to save her people?
She went for it. She appeared before King Xerxes. Everyone watched the king to see what he would do. Was it a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
I can't bear to watch. Tell me how it ends.
It was a thumbs up.
Hooray! It was thumbs up! It was thumbs up!
Xerxes said to Esther, "What do you want? Anything you ask, I'll give it to you, up to half my kingdom."
And Esther told him to stop Haman from killing her people.
Nope. She invited the king and Haman to a dinner party.
What? A dinner party?
Yep, a dinner party. So the king and Haman came to the dinner. Xerxes said, "What do you want? Anything. I'll give it to you."
And now Esther said, stop Haman from killing my people.
Nope. She invited the king and Haman to another dinner party the next day.
This girl really loves throwing dinner parties.
So the next night, Haman and the king came back for another dinner party. And Xerxes asked once again, "What do you want? Anything. I'll give it to you." And Esther said,
Don't tell me. She invited him to another dinner party?
"No," she said, "if I have found favor in your sight, O king, let my life be spared and the lives of my people." And Xerxes said, "What do you mean? Who is going to kill my queen?" And Esther said, "It is Haman. I am a Jew, and Haman tricked you into letting him kill all of us."
Boy, I'd have loved to see Haman's face right about then.
It's a good thing for Haman King Xerxes doesn't have a bad temper. Oh, wait.
King Xerxes flew into a rage. His servant told him Haman had built a gallows to hang Mordecai. So Xerxes said, "Whatever Haman was going to do to Mordecai, do that to Haman instead."
Oh, man.
And through the courage of a girl named Esther, God had saved his people once again. The end.